Welcome to Barefoot in America. My name's Kathy Kessler. We're going to do a practice today with a couple very simple shapes. This is going to help us reset our nervous system, turn off the sympathetic nervous system, get into the parasympathetic with some really simple restorative shapes, threading in the concepts of myofascial release, yin yoga, and some mindful movement with breath. So I'd like you to have 2 blocks at the head of your mat, or a bolster, or a pillow, and then 2 blankets. And I'm gonna stand up and show you how to fold these blankets so that there's nothing to do other than the practice once we get the fold done. So you're gonna grab your blanket and fold it in half, fringe to fringe if using a yoga Mexican blanket, and then take the blanket and fold it into thirds. So you end up with this rectangular shape, putting the fringe at the head of your mat and simply laying it out on your mat. Second blanket, we're going to fold it the exact same way. So you fold it in half, fringe to fringe, or if you're using just a regular blanket, get it in half and then create the thirds so you have a nice long rectangle, and just set that one aside next to you. We're going to come down onto our backs, taking constructive rest. So if you know this shape, you may know where I'm going, but what I want you to do first is take the very bottom of your blanket and give it a little fold. And this little fold is just to fill the space of your lumbar spine. You're going to sit in front of that fold so that when you lay back, this little tiny fold fills your low back. And now we want to fill this space in our neck. So feel your head on the back of the blanket, pinch the blanket with your fingers and thumb, and just give it a little flip over so that you created a tiny roll filling the space in the back of your neck, not your head. We don't want to create a forward head posture. So the goal is simply filling the space. Now take your feet as wide as your mat, get settled in, and let your knees fall together. For some of you, this is so easy that second blanket won't even be needed. But if there's any tightness, or if your legs don't go there with ease, by all means, grab that second blanket and drape it across your knees to just create a little weight. And even if your legs do fall together, with ease, the blanket can be very grounding and support you in the shape. Once you get settled, let your arms rest at your side. And this is constructive rest. We're just going to start here with our opening meditation. Feel your feet on your mat, on the earth. Feel how your legs fall in towards one another. And as the legs fall towards each other, maybe you can sense the slightest sense of stretching around your sacrum, in your glutes, your hips. And then notice your back, supported by the blanket, your mat, our earth. And feel your spine from your tailbone through the low back, the mid back, the upper back, the neck, with your skull resting on the earth. And then notice your breath. Notice how it flows in and out of your body. And that we are creating the conditions for our belly to soften, for our psoas, Psoas, to relax. And the psoas is deep inside of your belly. It attaches your lumbar spine to your pelvis and your femur, the leg bone. And fibers of the psoas go all the way up to the respiratory diaphragm and can affect our breathing. So simply feel the shape of constructive rest. Letting your breath be received by a soft, supple belly. And following your breath without really trying to shape it or change it or do anything yogic with it. That you're simply the observer of your breath. The inhale expands you. The exhale softens you. Feel how we're relaxing on purpose. And listen to your breath, to your body, to any other awarenesses that come into your consciousness. And we're going to add some really simple movement. Arms at your sides, starting with your right arm. Inhale, floats your right arm up and overhead. And then the exhale floats your right arm back down by your side. Let it be as soft and floaty as you can. The inhale informs you to float it up. And as soon as the exhale begins, you're informed to lower it back down. Inhale floats you up. Exhale floats the right arm back down. Continue at your own pace, following your breath as you flow in and out of this simple arm-shoulder movement. And notice how it feels. There's no rule how far you go with your range of motion. The focus is the breath, and that the inhale floats it up, and that the exhale floats it back down. A couple more. And then the last one. And the next time you float your arm back down, simply pause in constructive rest. And notice how your right arm feels. Notice any contrast with the left arm. And then we're going to go to the left side, same exact thing. Your left arm's going to float up on an inhale. And you're going to lower it back down on your exhale. Inhale, floating it up. Exhale, floats it back down. Continue at your pace. And rather than the movement informing the breath, you're allowing the breath to inform the movement. And there's no rule about how high the arm goes, how slow or fast it moves. It's simply you tuning into the movement with breath. Just a couple more rounds. Feeling, following your breath with simple, gentle movement. And then last time on the left side. And then simply pause with your left arm at your side and notice how it feels. Inhale, float your right arm up and overhead. And this is where you might need the block. If you don't have full shoulder range of motion, or if having the arm all the way over your head creates any kind of strain, simply prop the arm with a block. And what I want you to notice here is this lateral line from your upper arm, through your armpit, through your side body, your lats, all the way down into this area of the low belly and the psoas. And see if you can feel any sense of lengthening, stretching subtly, and softening. And if the shoulder really lacks full range of motion, you could also flare it out to a T or an angular position. Just find the edge that works for you and that serves you well in this moment. And we're going to keep it this simple for a couple minutes. Giving yourself time to sense, to feel, to perceive any sensation. Remembering energy flows where our awareness goes. And we're simply building this practice by adding just little subtle nuances of change. Starting in constructive rest, playing with breath and movement, and now a long pause, allowing this whole right side of your body the time to soften, to become more spacious, and for you to be present and feel the flow of your breath in and out of the shape you've created. Now we're going to add to this shape, optional, always optional. If there's plenty of stretch here, stay right here. If it's available, straighten your left leg and then cross your right ankle over your left. And you might just move your belly, blanket up to your belly. And you're starting to take on the shape of Bananasana. And again, if this is enough, you stay here. If you want a little more, your left index finger and thumb can hold your right wrist, and maybe it just draws your arms over to the left side of your mat. And feel how you've created the shape of a banana. There's no rolling, there's no twisting, simply a side bend, opening up the entire right side of your body. And notice how that feels for you. We all have different tightnesses, myofascial restrictions, postural habits, bracing habits. And the goal is simply to tap into our inner wisdom, our wellness, to practice ahisma, loving kindness on our mat. And feel how your breath flows in and out of this shape. And notice the long hold and how things start to evolve and change in what you feel. We're ever so gently going to come out of this shape, Lowering our arms by our side, uncrossing the legs, rebending the knees, finding your way back to constructive rest with knees together, feet as wide as your mat, blanket draped over your knees, arms at your side. And now simply float the left arm up and overhead. And your left arm may be different than your right. So if you need the block to catch you and support you, take the time to put it there. If straight up overhead is more than your left shoulder is able to do, take it in a V, a T, any angle that would be a place where you could rest the arm. And if no block is needed, simply let your left arm rest on the earth above your head. And now notice yourself landing in this shape of constructive rest with the left arm over your head. And notice any sensations it creates in your body. Has my breathing changed? Is there a stretch in my arm? Or my shoulder? Or my side body? Or into my belly psoas region? And is my right arm relaxed? And is there anything in this shape that I could do to be a little more comfortable so that I can rest fully in this shape? So that I can be present with my breath. And that I take all the effort away so the breath can simply flow in and out of my being. And feel your whole body in this shape. That your breath is received by a soft, supple belly. Giving your body permission to relax in this shape on purpose. Listening to any messengers your body sends. With the option to take it a step further if you choose. If you choose, straighten your right leg. Straighten the left leg, crossing left ankle over right. Slide the blanket up to your belly. If this is enough and the stretch is deepened, stay here. If you want a little more, your thumb and index finger on the right hand can hold your left wrist and simply draw your left arm to the right side of the mat, creating the shape of a banana in your body. Bananasana. And then now you're creating the conditions to open the left side of your body. And we all have different restrictions. So you might feel it in your shoulder, or your side body, or your outer hip and thigh, or all of them, or none of them, or somewhere that you least expected. Simply be with the felt sense of the shape. Noticing what you notice. Notice your breath. Listen to your breath. Listen to the sound of your own breath. Observe where your breath flows in your body. Your whole body, mind and spirit, resting in this shape. Where we go to the fascial barrier and we wait. And as things evolve and change, you can make shifts to your body. We're going to gently come out of it, letting your arms come down by your side, uncrossing your left leg, and take the time to bend your knees one last time. Feet as wide as your mat, knees fall towards each other. The blanket could drape over your legs, arms at your side. Inhale, float both arms up and overhead, and notice how that feels. And if you need the block to catch your arms, take the time to grab it and place it there. If you need to spread your arms a little wider to feel more relaxed, take the time to do that. Just take another minute or two here in constructive rest with our arms overhead, noticing where you feel that slight tension or tug in your body. Noticing the simple changes that you created in the practice today. That we can let it be easy. We can meet ourselves at our edge over and over again. And that when we continue to show up for ourselves, that our edges may start to change. That we see our boundaries, our limits, and we also see our potential. And we watch the evolution of our own beings. I invite you to lower your arms back down. Just see how they land here now. Close your feet, roll to your side. And as you're ready, sit back up on your mat. And if the time and space is there for you to rest in Shavasana, take a 5-10 minute Shavasana. Thank you for joining us in Sedona, Arizona today for this restorative, slightly yin, myofascial type of practice. I hope that you can feel a shift in any stress or tension you were experiencing, or that this was just an opportunity for you to reset, to recharge, and to step back into life from a new perspective. So grateful. The place of divine light and truth in me honors the place of divine light and truth in each one of you, where we are all one. Namaste.